What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on? Let me get this shared up real fast. And let me go live right here. What is the deal, family? Okay. Okay. Um, hmm. Yep. Excuse me. NFL, man. Early line, stuff like that, right? It's major key. It's definitely major, right? My boy, Roderick, what's going on, my guy? What is up? I don't know what's up. What's up? What's up? It's time for y'all to get. It's time for y'all to get Jameis Winston in there and have a little fun, man. Straight up, man. It's time for y'all to get Jameis Winston in there to have a little fun. Take a couple shots. What you think about that? Mm. um, man. Before I get into NFL or whatever the case may be, y'all already know. He said, I'm going to try Pass Picks for the first time. I got that code, man. You want to use my code? Let me know, man. You want to use my code? Let me know. I'll send it to you. Um, I'll definitely send it to you. Prize Picks, man. Yeah, Prize Picks, man. You get early lines. I jump on here Tuesday night. Tuesday, I come in here and we got, like I said, we got what I do like that's different. I like reception targets, right? I love reception targets. That's just, targets to whoever, right? They got a few different props, and we also got the fantasy score. That's where we come from. You know what I'm saying? We got a history. That's where we come from. You know what I'm saying, Roderick? So, it is what it is with that. He said I'm passed with the Browns. Man, I've been trying to get to Amari Cooper here and there. He cashed for me once, man. That was a drop ball last week. I seen that. That was crazy. Yeah. Other than that, though, before I get into everything, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people do know that I do play preseason DFS for NBA. If you're not familiar with this, then you're not familiar with it. It is what it is, right? But I do play that, and I also, it's a great way to get your feet wet. The thing about that is it's for degenerates. It's degenerates only. I've been doing it for years since since they started it. The most thing about NBA DFS and NBA betting preseason and stuff like that. Occasionally, Prize Picks will come to the Prize Picks will come with the NBA preseason props here and there, and it is what it is. Who's that say? Welcome to the winner. Welcome to the winner. Okay. Oh yeah, that's my boy, right? Okay, shout out. Oh, and speaking of the winner, somebody joined. Did you just join? That's what it was. I think that's what that was. So shout out to you, man, for joining the channel. And then if you got any questions about joining the channel, of course, it's $2.99. If you just like to support what I do, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I do occasionally drop plays in there. I did drop a parlay in there for, what was that? A couple days ago. That was a plus 800. We smacked that. I just dropped a Thursday night. Take what you like and leave what you don't parlay. This is not my favorite stuff tonight, right? I will post it a little later on. I'm just letting it. I'll post it a little later on. I'm just letting it marinate in the users only, in the members only, because they are supporting me. I mean, it's only a coffee. I mean, 10 cents a day. I mean, 10 cents a day. So this is about what it is anyway. So, you know. Roderick said, I've been killing DFS baseball. That's what's up. That is what's up. I'll be playing here and there, but at the end of the day, like I said, tomorrow they'll have NBA preseason out. Now, I'm gonna slide over here to NBA a little bit just to give you guys a quick overview. And I have videos on this from years and years ago about how you research NBA for DFS and for betting purposes. Beat writers are going to be your friends. I have lists as far as on my Twitter and things like that, and you can even look for beat writers yourself. Knowing your personnel is major key in NBA betting and DFS and all of that, just to know who's going to be in play, right? And then, live betting is probably the most profitable one when it comes to the books. One of the most profitable ones because, you got your margins and things like that. So knowing who's in and out of the lineup, knowing the personnels, that's major key. Knowing rotations, knowing how long people are going to play, it's all major key. We know we love to bet the bands and the margin of victories. So let's not forget about that, right? You have, 31 plus is still lingering. You know what I'm saying? Knicks 31 plus, just, plus 4,600 odds. You're going to hit these odds more often than not. Don't forget to use your 10-point margins. I usually combo those up. You know what I'm saying? No matter if you're betting $3, $4, $5, it's just, it is what it is. But we will have access to these bets for sure, and they'll be live as well. Okay. The thing about that is the information, right? You're gonna have to really, really have the information. I do have a Twitter. That's probably gonna be the quickest way. If I tweet out some plays, if I tweet out some information, this is going to be helpful, right? We got about 3 weeks, maybe a little bit over 3 weeks. I'm talking like I'm getting ready to really, really go full-fledged for preseason DFS. Even if I don't go preseason, if I don't go full-fledged, I'm going to try. It gets overwhelming around this time when you got baseball going, MLB, and baseball, NFL, and preseason, it can get hectic. But this is what I always said. I always wing myself off of, MLB coming into this time, and eventually I'm be more predominant baseball. Roderick says hockey. Now, hockey is not my cup of tea. I would like, but the people that I trust, which is very few, but if I will tell them. I'll tell them, but I'm not a big super hockey guy. So that's what's getting ready to happen, right? So I'm looking for easy money. I'm not looking for no hard shit, right? I'm not trying to do that. When it comes to the money in the streets, I want to be a bully. Now, NFL. I didn't extensively look at a lot of stuff, but it is what it is. I got some spots that we should look at, that we should know about. I should have done this video Tuesday, giving you a mental, state about some matchups that I really, really liked. But it's Thursday. We got a few lines out, not all lines, and major early lines are always major key, instead of sitting there and Sunday morning and just plugging shit in on late stale lines. You want to be ahead of the things, right? Tonight, Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Atlanta Falcons. Not one of my favorite games. For some reason, things are just not jumping out to me. However, let's go through a few things, right? We got an over under 43.5 in this one here. Tampa Bay favorites. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are dogs here, road dogs. Atlanta Falcons minus 130 favorites here. Spread is 1.5. I couldn't talk you off any side, right? I can't talk you off any side. I did, like I said, I did drop a play in the members only chat, and it consisted of let's see, let me see. I took so apparently when I'm streaming, what's up, Jamar? Apparently, when I'm streaming and Prize Picks just really acts really stupid, right? So give me after I actually I'll post that a little bit in a while after I finish streaming because Prize Picks act stupid when it comes to. I did put the Chris Godwin there. Let me see. Rush. I went with rush, reception, and pass TDs. Passing, rush, and reception TDs with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has a little bit of rushing upside. I'll show you guys that. So I did take that. I did take the. Now this one prop does coincide with the Baker Mayfield prop there. So I did add in um, rushing plus reception TDs combo. I added in Mike Evans and Kyle Pitts. I think there's a possibility Mike Evans can get there. Kyle Pitts is just, oh, God, man, straight up, I just don't understand. Um, um, I added in Drake London here at 5.5 receptions. I added in let's see, what was it? It's just for fun here. He said, "What's your prospect code?" I'm about to set mine up. Okay, for sure. What's my Okay, two people with that. You know what? Prospects code. I don't know who that is calling me. I'm gonna have to call them back. They're gonna have to call me back. I'm gonna call them back one or the other. They know I can't do that. My prospects code. What I'm getting ready to do now, I'm getting ready to put it in my bio, right? So 1 second. Hold on 1 second, and then you'll also be able to go get it from there. 1 second. Um, okay. Uh, Let me put it in my on my YouTube channel on my channel right here, and I'll show you guys exactly where is it real quick. Uh, okay. They steady calling me about my challenger. I don't have that challenger no more. I swerved a deer and tore that sucker up. Hold on, 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 hold on. You know what? For right now, until I get to hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You know what? put the link. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I don't think that's the right way to do it. I don't think that's the right way to do it. Right. Um. Name me account they want to set your prize picks. Okay, prize picks one link me. I don't think I won't. I don't use that link right there. One second. Let me go to the Roderick, I'll send it to you on Facebook. I'll inbox you on Facebook real quick. I'll send you my link like that because we already on the book. And let me see. If that don't work, this is the code right here. Hold on. So because they be on some bull crap sometimes, and so what I'll do here for right now, until I get the link on my channel, because I want to finish this video up. I got a screenshot right here. If they act up, that's it. Use code PRZ. So I'm getting ready to put this screenshot in the community section right now. And if you want to type it in manually, you could do it like that. Until I get off this video, and I'll add this link. I'll add that link. I'll add that link to. I'll add that link to my bio. So right now, if you're looking on, let's see. Let me see. I'm taking a lot of time doing this here, but we're gonna get it together though. Community. Okay. If you want to look at the community channel, I did a community section. I did put a let's see. I did put a screenshot up there. This is a screenshot. This the code. It says PR-Z9, whatever. That's in the community section right there, right? So whoever want to use it, he said it just sent me to the app, right? So when you could go right here in the community section on YouTube, right here on YouTube. I just posted a screenshot. It will be PR-Z9PGGRPX, or whatever that is, right? And you can type that, you can put that in for the because sometimes they'll be on some bull, right? They'll be wanting to give you that little kickback, man. And I don't know, I don't even want to talk about it. So it is what it is. And this tool I'll be using right now would be Outlier. If you guys ain't using that or whatever the case may be, you can take a look at that, right? Because I'm going to use that right now, and I'll show you guys a little bit. Man, it's been a while, but either way I go, let's get to it now. So, right. So, what else did I have put in there? Let me see. Okay, I had put Bijan Robinson in there for a touchdown. Pass rush, reception, touchdown. Let me see. Rushing, reception, touchdown. I had B.J. Robinson in there. Bijan. Robinson, and I had this is just a $5 play though. You know what I'm saying? Just a $5 play for fun or whatever the case may be. I took reception yards, no, longest reception for where is it? Okay, for Darnell Mooney, right? So I took Darnell Mooney at 20 and a half more, right? So that was a 6 picks right there. $5 would get you 125, and that's just something that I threw in there, right? Prize picks, you got to have a minimum of 2 plays, and so on and so forth. So it is what it is, right? So yeah, I took Darnell Mooney 20 and a half, longest reception, one touchdown for this is a rushing and plus reception touchdown for Bijan Robinson. 5.5 receptions for Drake London. A touchdown combo with Pitts and Mike Evans, and then 1.5 passing and rushing reception, pass rush reception TDs for Baker Mayfield. That means he can throw one and he can run one in, or he can catch one, hence Goff. And then Godwin 6 receptions. I would have liked to get in this Godwin at 5.5 receptions. You can take what you like and leave what you don't. This is only just it's not this 6 picks is a lot, bro. You know what I'm saying? But you can substitute this shit. Like Mike Evans, his reception line is kind of interesting. Then you also have targets, right? So Bijan Robinson 4.5 targets is interesting, right? I have interest in that for some certain reason there. Darnell Mooney, the 6.5 targets, he's hit this number 2 of his last 3 games. Don't know if I'll get there. Bucky Irvin, Cade Otton, here's a guy that I should have probably went to, right? Cade Otton, he's hit this number in back-to-back games. He's a guy that I probably should have taken as targets. And the thing about targets is just targets, right? So I love targets. Kyle Pitts has just been a shell of himself for the last 2-3 years. Drake London, the target share should be there for him, will be there. Reception targets for Mike Evans. One thing about Mike Evans, you got to do your research. If there's a average cornerback out there, I mean, we can go ahead and take advantage of it. He's the type. I mean, right now it's like the last 2 years, it's like they don't really target him when he's got a tough matchup, right? The matchup was their last game, right? 9 targets. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like they don't really target him that much when he's got a tougher matchup. Anytime he's got a tough matchup on paper, I'll just fade him. I wouldn't care what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? But the 4.5 receptions for Mike Evans is kind of intriguing when you look at that as well. So, like I said, Cade Otton, even receptions for Cade Otton, I have interest there as well. He's hit this number in back-to-back games. But Mike Evans, 4.5 receptions is interesting as hell. He's hit this number. This will be week 5 for them. So he's 2 or 4 to this number, 50%. 8 catches versus Philly. I like to target the Philly secondary. Denver, not so much. I don't like to target that secondary. And then Detroit, it could have been done in Detroit, but Godwin just probably had been ultra consistent. And that's what's been the story, right? Ray McLeod, his numbers weren't out this morning. I might play him. I might end up adding him on the books. I will post. I'll drop a parlay in the members only later on for the on the books there, and it is what it is with that. But it's a lot of things that could be in play. Bijan is interesting especially in the passing game. He's got 4 receptions, 2 receptions, 4 receptions, 5 receptions, 4 more receptions in 3 of his last 4 games. It's interesting, right? It's very interesting. That puts him in line. That's why I took him for a touchdown. That puts him in line, for a rushing touchdown and a reception touchdown. So, I don't really, mind him. Um, yeah. So, but overall, is this my favorite game? No, it's not. Right? It's not my favorite game. Godwin's got 6 receptions in 4 games straight. 6 receptions or better in 4 games straight. He's back to his old self, right? So, him and Cade Otton have been that security blanket for Baker Mayfield, and then where's White? So White had been a little bit sick, right? Let me see if we get White here. White. So Rashad White, 35.5 rushing yards. It can happen, right? 29.5 receiving yards is a demon. 21.5 receiving yards in general. Just depends on what type of game this is going to be, right? So, let me see. Man, I just dropped Bucky Irvin I had him. I was holding on to Bucky Irvin. I dropped him in my fantasy. I had to make a tough decision, man. But this is a 50-50 split. You know what I'm saying? It could be close to a 50-50 split or whatever the case may be. So, reception targets, right? He had 3 targets here, 6 targets versus Denver, 6 targets, right? 6 targets versus Denver, 3 versus Philly. Receptions, 2, 5, 1. So, interesting. I'm not going. Let me see. His rush yards. 50 versus Philly. I know he was dealing with some type of illness. Hey, man. I couldn't parlay none of his numbers, man. I have to bet him straight. None of his props. I have to bet him straight. One thing I want to point out here. So let's go through the motions here. Baker Mayfield, right? Baker Mayfield been balling. He's been doing what it takes, right? Interesting play here to look at would be his interesting play would be his rush yards, right? It's crazy that I'm speaking that, but I mean, he's 50% to this 10.5 number here. He's had 10 rushing yards or better in 3 of his last 4. I'm not giving his prop out or nothing like that. I'm just putting you up on game on what he's been doing, right? You'll get times where, one of the most fun things for me to do is live bet, right? Live bet and live betting receptions on drives and stuff like that. His rushing yard is pretty high right now at 10.5. Some shit like that. But it is what it is, right? He said, I was just talking to this old guy. He just said Baker Mayfield might run it in. I said, I don't doubt it. Right. So it is what it is. Anything can happen, bro. I placed my first bet, just showing for you. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody who's showing love. Love that. Love to see that, man. Love to see that, right? So, but like I said, overall for this game, it's not my favorite game. It's not my favorite game, but this season as a whole, I'm still taking it in. Like, what I'm saying, taking it in because, things been happening weird. The quarterback play has been kind of weird, a lot of stuff, right? And right now I still want to go. I want to go through the rest of these games, right? I want to go through a few more of these games to give you guys a glance at what I'm looking at. And if you have interest in this tool, this is a decent tool, right? So let's go to so this tool I use it for NBA some. I use this here. I use this, that. I use a lot of stuff. This is a paid tool, but if you want to, if you want to, if you want to use this tool, you will using my using my link. You can't get a free week of this if you want to, just try it out. You can use my link. That's this link here is in my bio for Outlier. You get the matchups and things like that, wide receivers, cornerbacks, and stuff like that, public betting and all this stuff, good stuff. Strength of schedule, injuries, public betting right there. Insights as the week progresses, you get more and more insights about games. So this game has a lot of insights, right? Like trends and stuff. Like Jordan Whitehead has failed to exceed 6.5 tackles and assists in 4 of his last 5 games. Top 10 defenses for tackles against 4.6 tackles and assists a game average. Like this has hit 4 of his last 5 games. Ray-Ray McLeod has exceeded 36.5 rush and receiving yards in 4 of his last 5 games, averaging 41 rush and receiving yards a game. That's on DraftKings, sitting at minus 110. So I can go on and on. Even some games, the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons are 2-10, 16.7 against the spread in the last 12 games as a favorite. It's just a lot of stuff here. Bijan Robinson, it's a lot of trends here. And if you can see this little dot here, I'll drag it down. And the trends, it's just a lot of trends that you can just make yourself busy. You can make yourself busy just trying to get to the money, right? I'm not saying all this shit gonna hit and nothing like that, but it's a lot of trends, even fantasy trends, right? Darnell Mooney has failed to exceed 9 fantasy score. This is underdog, I guess. In 15 of his last 18 games, 4.8 fantasy score underdog game average, right? So it's a lot. It's a lot of trends here. Mike Evans has failed to exceed 23.5, longest receptions in 6 of his last 7 games on the road, 16.7 longest reception. So you have a lot of trends with NFL. You got a lot of time. Not a lot of time. We got lives, right? But you got time to look into some of these trends. You might find something you like. You might not. Remember, the mission is to profit and not deposit. And, what I'm saying, I encourage you guys to play your straights. You got to play your straights and do your bankroll builders. And who cares? Listen, it's a lot of distraction on the internet when it comes to these Facebook groups, Twitter, and stuff like that. As far as these screenshots, seeing these big ass wins, and people forget what we trying to do. Some people trying to do this, trying to hit the home run. I love it. Some people not. Some people need to bet straights. Some people need to build their bankroll with bankroll builders. At the end of the day, profit, not deposit, and win the day. That's what I'm kind of like trying to do, right? So, it is what it is, right? So, as far as with this betting shit, right now, just trying to take what the defense gives me, right? Take what the books give me, and I'm getting out of there, right? So, this tool here has a lot to offer. When you're looking at let's say receivers, for instance. So let's go to the next game here, right? Let's go to the New York Jets, and I like one of my favorite props here is going to be Jordan Addison, right? Okay, so let's take a look at Jordan Addison here, right? So right now it's a parlay piece, right? So we all know, I'd imagine we all know who Jordan Addison is and what he can do, right? And what he should be able to do. So what I feel like he should be able to do is get these 2.5 receptions, right? And excuse me, but as long as reception is sitting at 18.5, he should be able to hit that as well. But he's been flirting with it. He's played 2 games last week versus Green Bay. He hit that number, right? Here's a guy. Let me see if I can bring it up because I was just looking at it. Let's go to player game logs. And let's go to player game logs. Now, right now, I ain't gonna say I'm all over the place right now, but I just want to touch on some spots, and I'm actually looking at some fresh lines as well. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to not quarterbacks. If you guys are still using Game Day Insights, I use that as well. Not quarterbacks. We're going down to teams, not ball carriers. We're not going to go there. We're going to go to pass catchers, right? Then we're going to go to wide receivers. Then we're going to go to 2023. We're not even going to pay attention to 2024. We're going to go to 2023. We're going to select all. Don't have to select all. But if you want a specific week, you can click on a specific week. Now we're going to go to. We're going to go with targets. And now we do have a different quarterback here. But Minnesota's playing good. So let's go to Minnesota. Minnesota. Then let's go to pass catchers. Let's go to Jordan Addison. Okay. So this is, how do you do this? Shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Weeks. Sorted by week 1 all the way on out, right? So this is where these guys need to get back to. They're going to have to get back to. Now, this offense, Minnesota, just for future references, they'll be getting back TJ Hawkinson. Is that TJ Hawkinson, they tight end. I don't know, man. You got the quarterback, what's his name? Donald, he's got like 11 touchdowns. This offense is humming. Tough matchup. You know, you got Sauce Gardner on one side. He'll probably be on Justin Jefferson. So, you know, you got to move the ball. Take it what the defense gives you. I just want to let you know that Jordan Addison, these are his numbers from last year. He is capable of getting these 3 receptions, right? And he's capable of, he's capable. Week 1, 4 receptions on 6 targets. This is last year. Week 2, 3 receptions on 5 targets. 6 receptions on 8 targets. 6 receptions on 9 targets here. 3 on 5 targets. 7 on versus San Francisco on 10 targets. 7 versus Green Bay. 7 for 8 on 8 targets. 5. The list goes on and on, right? He's capable of hitting this 2.5. If the defense is going to be paying a lot of attention to somebody like Justin Jefferson, that's only a plus. You know what I'm saying? It's only a plus. I'd imagine this will be the weaker side. The weaker side, not saying this side will be weak, but 2.5 catches. I have it set to the side over here. 2.5 catches for Jordan Addison is not out of the realm of possibilities. We have Jordan Addison right here, right? You can look at you can even look right here at 2023. If you're not using Game Day, the same thing I just did on Game Day, you can look right here, right? I mean, yeah, on Game Day Insights. You also look right here. He's hit this number 2.5 receptions last year in every game except for 3. Right here, you can see the passing plays. You can see the receptions along with reception targets. Same thing right here. You know what I'm saying? His target share, 20%, 29%, 17%, things of that nature. Few insights. Jordan Addison has exceeded 2.5 receptions in 13 of his last 15 games, averaging 4.2 receptions per game. Minnesota Minnesota pass versus run rate. I have to look a little bit more into that. But you can get the targets right here. Overall targets right here for these receivers, the pass catchers, and then you get the red zone target share. As you can see right here, Aaron Jones, he's had 7 targets in the red zone there. That's kind of, I ain't gonna say it's weird, but I mean, look at that, right? I mean, and then you got Justin Jefferson right behind him. And over here, you got line movement on the props and stuff like that. the Jets defense, matchup summary, third down conversions, net touchdown, net yards, rush yards, all this good stuff. Record versus common opponent, rankings, offense, defense, vice versa. Switch it up. Quarterback hurry, sacks, da 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 da. Just a lot of stuff, right? Team records and all that. And you still got your injuries and your insights over here, right? So Justin Jefferson has exceeded 26.5, longest reception in 5 straight games. 46.8, the longest reception. One thing we know about Justin Jefferson, if he gonna talk some shit, somebody gonna talk. Him and Sauce gonna probably get into it, right? They probably gonna get into it. It's gonna be a competitive over there. Tyler Conklin has failed to exceed 24.5 receiving yards in 5 of his last six games on the road. I probably wouldn't take this prop though, because they do have Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers should be good at taking taking what the defense gives him. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Not going to go through all these trends, but these are some trends right here, and it is what it is, right? So long story short. Oh, and Mike Evans. It's another guy that I'm looking at. Mike Evans. I've been taking this play. I've been taking this play every week, right? He's hit this number, I think, 2 weeks in a row for me. Mike Evans, not Mike Evans. Not Mike Evans. Mike Williams, right? Williams. Mike Williams, right? It's going to be a matter of time before he absolutely crushes his receiving yards, right? So right now, his long reception yards sitting at 17.5, right? He's hit this number in 3 straight games. We already know he's a deep threat coming off a big-time injury. They're easing him back in, right? They're easing him back in. Reception targets, right? So as you can see here, week 1, the first game, he didn't even play a lot of snaps, right? The second game, he had 1 target, 1 reception, and the third game, he had 3 receptions on 4 targets, and he got 3 receptions on 4 targets, and versus Denver, he had this is a tough matchup and inclement weather. He had 4 receptions on 5 targets, right? They got to get him acclimated if this offense wants to move forward. I don't care what Wilson is over there crying about and all that. They got to get him. They got to get him acclimated, man. In order for this offense to be well oiled, right? And this is just the longest prop. I mean, the longest catch. So right now he's doing his damage. He's definitely doing his damage, within 20 yards of the field. You know what I'm saying? So, he can do this, right? Let's see. Last year, look, he played 3 games last year, and all 3 of those games, he hit this number. So we already know who he is, and stuff like that. So reception yards for him is sitting at 33. Let me see, 2024. 33. He's hit this number in back-to-back games. I played in both games. He's hit both times. I'll be looking towards the over there. On Prize Picks? Well, you get on Prize Picks on DraftKings, you get a -115, and you'll get a plus 110 here, right? Bet 365. I wish I could get Bet 365. I wish I could. Those are 2 props that I'm looking to get to, right? I'm looking to get to touchdown score props here. I would be looking at Jones, right? I'll be looking at Jones for a touchdown here. Aaron Jones. If I had to bet on one person, it would be Aaron Jones. Don't be surprised if Jordan Addison scores at plus 260 And don't be because Jordan Addison, he's a long reception candidate, and Mike Williams is too. And both of these guys can catch one for deep for a touchdown. They have been going to he's been going to Mike Williams in the end zone plus 340. He's going to hit a touchdown soon, right? So good return on investment there. Let's get back to where we're going, right? Baltimore Ravens at Cincinnati Bengals, man. Over under 48.5 in this spot. And man, I'm starting to look at this game and I'm starting to tell myself, it's Cincinnati Bengals or nothing for me if I want to play this game. Gonna get value on the Bengals here. We don't know who everybody is yet. Yes, Cincinnati's always been going to getting these overly late starts and stuff like that. They've been getting their ass whooped, man. It is what it is. Baltimore. The way this Cincinnati Bengals team is constructed, I think they can put up some points, right? I think they can put up some points here. We already got a 48.5 total here. Don't get it twisted. And the thing that I like the most here is we have T. Higgins back, right? So I do have T. Higgins sitting over here. Let me show you I do have T. Higgins sitting over here, right? So, he's only played 2 games. Last game versus Carolina. I mean, it's Carolina, of course, but he had 6 receptions. But he also had his target shares going up. We can see that he's healthy. 6 receptions, 6 targets here, 10 targets there, right? I added it to my player pool, and you'll get a good number on it on a site like DraftKings at plus 115. I can see instances where he can get there. It's always a good instance where he can get there when you got somebody like Jamar Chase on the other side. So, and then you got Burrow. He's gonna sling it. Even if I lose this prop, if I bet this prop and I lose this prop, I wouldn't be too mad. When I think it's the right play. And FanDuel, you get it at a minus 102 on FanDuel, minus 105 on Caesars. The best value right here is minus 115 on DraftKings, right? I mean, plus 115 on DraftKings. 5.5 receptions. 4.5 receptions. 4.5 receptions. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is, right? Another thing that I've been doing that's really, 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 really profitable is betting receptions on the drive, right? So let me see something here. Let me give you guys an example. Because live betting, you know what I'm saying? Live betting is major key, man. It's major key. And, you can make some money. You can definitely make some money. Let's take a look here, right? So this is So this is a first quarter parlay here, right? So this is just a first quarter parlay that happened to hit. I got that. I tailed somebody else on that, by the way. But this is a parlay. This is a touchdown parlay here. This is also a touchdown parlay. And as you guys know, Derrick Henry and Montgomery, I've always taken theirs as a straight. But as you can see right here, DK Metcalf, 6th drive player to catch a pass. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 6th drive player to catch a pass. Now, knowing the game flow, right? Predicting game flow, you expect points to be put up, stuff like that. it's advantages to be had, right? You can just constantly live bet, right? I was supposed to bet live bet each drive for both teams. Like there was and there was a time where he was darting. What the hell is that boy's name? Uh, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Long story short, concentrated offenses. This is what I mean by concentrated offenses, where we know where the ball is going at just about all times. You see what I'm saying? Where we know where the ball is going. There's no who the hell is that guy? There's going to be none of that. Those are teams that are and a pace up matchup. You know what I'm saying? Those are the teams that I like to target, right? This was a bankroll builder, like a plus 200, right? Uh, This was the one that plus 830 I give you guys in the members only. So those drive catches, just for one catch on that drive, that's just that specific drive. You're gonna get plus money, right? You're gonna get plus money, maybe minus 105s. You're gonna get plus money, but the two catches and stuff be like plus 200, plus 500, plus 600. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, but you gotta take advantage of those. You know what I'm saying? You can be sitting here live betting the game the whole time. This is another one. The third drive, Jackson and Smith and Jigma and DK Metcalf to get a touchdown. I mean, to get a catch. Another one, right? I had this one boosted for to catch a catch on the third drive. I boosted it to a plus 130, right? And just, it's just, I mean, it is what it is, right? So long story short, and that's just sitting there watching a primetime game and just betting it, right? Betting it, just betting it, right? And same thing when I'm getting to with this game right here. So we got a 48.5 over under in this game. And I can see instances where, man, I can see instances like, let me go back to that play, right? Let me go back to that play. Where was I? Did I exit out of it? No. I exited out of it. I ain't gonna pull it up, but I can pull it up right here. Justice Hill, right? He was heavily targeted. Heavily targeted, right? That game. And it looked like he's going to be here to stay in that regards. His receptions are sitting at 2.5. Going up against Buffalo, he had receptions targets. He had 6 receptions on 6 targets, man. He had 6 receptions on 6 targets. And, you just got to try to understand game flow. I'm not a big fan of the Cincinnati Bengals rush defense. So, of course, Derrick Henry is in play for his rushing yards for sure. But if Baltimore happened to get down, it's a possibility, Derrick Henry could get phased out and it'll be the Justice Hill show. So all those, you keep in those mental notes. Even if you don't want to take his reception prop, you see how the game flow is going. You know for sure he's going to be dumping it off, right? Stuff like that. Then you do got your first quarter props, right? Don't know if we have none of these numbers out yet, but you do got your first quarter props. Just take what makes sense, man. Don't be trying to be greedy like me, right? Take what makes sense and just roll with it, right? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get. Shout out to my guy. He dropped one earlier, right? He dropped the Addison. First quarter over a half of yard. I really like that, right? I really like that. The Addison first quarter prop. Look at that. Addison first quarter prop. I love that. I really love that play. I really love that play. Shout out to my guy Prop. He dropped that prop, right? Aaron Jones receiving yard, first quarter receiving yard. That's an interesting play at one catch for -108. I really like that. I don't really like it, but I got interest in it, right? Minnesota Vikings defense, I need to take a look at it, but somebody like Conklin, it's interesting, right? If they locking down, I tell you what, if you bet Conklin over receiving yard and you bet, I don't know, we'll see. I'll hold my thoughts on that. Mike Williams, one receiving yard at +116, bro. +116. I like that. You have to hit me over the head. You have to hit me over the head, right? The number 2 receiver, yeah, I'll take that for my number 2 guy. Lazard, he's been, he's got the rapport, you know what I'm saying? But back to where we were. Let's fast forward to where we was, right? It's a lot of plays that I like about this game here. It's a lot of plays that I like about this game. Will I be betting on Jamar Chase? Probably not, right? Probably not. Probably won't be. I'll probably bet him live. I do think he should have a game, though. I do think he should have a game. I mean, it's a lot. The rushing yards for the quarterback, I like that. And I could possibly take a stab at either Joe Burrow's passing yards and or his 1.5 touchdowns, right? I like that as well. I'm not going right now. I'm going week to week with this shit. I'm not looking at, because it's a lot of unknowns right now. It's a lot of unknowns. It's a lot of unknowns, right? It's a lot of unknowns. The Baltimore Ravens passing offense is kind of weird to me right now. When I'm looking at, I'm gonna tell you what I'm looking at for some of these guys here. Receiving props, right? I'm looking at somebody like Bateman. He'll be one of my candidates for like, man, the longest reception or something like that. Flowers, he would be something like the volume guy, right? Andrews and likely Andrews, I don't know what's up, but Derrick Henry has taken a lot from Andrews and likely, right? Derrick Henry has taken a lot from those guys. I got some interest in this game. I just got interest in this game and game flow. That's the most important thing to me, right? I'm looking at the line and I'm looking at the game flow, and what I want to convince myself to come into grips with a solid answer, and that would be if I think Baltimore Ravens would be trailing in this game. I could care less who wins this game. I just want to know if I think Baltimore going to be trailing, because Lamar's going to do what he needs to do, which is rushing or whatever the case may be to get this win. And you're going to get guys in play like Justice Hill coming out of the backfield. I think this game has potential to have fireworks. Bro, don't sleep. Don't sleep on this game, right? Last 2 weeks I'm supposed to go live. If I could go live, if I'm not busy Sunday, I would go live and live bet this game live with you guys. I know I'm talking a lot, but I'm trusting. When I see money, man, I'm telling you, when I see money, it is what it is, man. Okay. Carolina Panthers and my Chicago Bears, 41.5 over under in this spot. The Bears supposed to win this game, right? The Bears supposed to win this game. Carolina Panthers has a pretty good offensive line. And Deontay Johnson has been a target monster his whole career, right? Let's not get it twisted. On the other side, that's why I told you guys a week or two ago, we wanted to be early on this guy. And Xavier Legette, we got there early on him. Last week, we got there early on him. And right now we know Xavier Leggett is here to stay, right? Um, the Bears defense. If the Bears defense don't get pressure, they can get dotted in the secondary, right? Um, but they, with this Carolina offensive line, you know, that still can allow guys to get their receptions. Okay, so going over here to DraftKings, I would believe that the Carolina Panthers guys are out here. No, so we got the Bears guys, but you need to see what the injury news is going to be like for Deontay Johnson. That's why we don't have lines for those guys right now. So let's keep it moving. Let me see. You might have one for Xavier. What's his name? Leggett. Might have lines for him on Prize Picks. And we only have a touchdown prop for him. Okay? So, not going to talk about too much of the Bears, though. Not going to talk about too much of the Bears. Swift. You can look at Swift. But we just got to get lines for these guys. Miami Dolphins and New England Patriots, man. This is a terrible looking game here, right? But two guys that I got my eyes on, right? From the New England Patriots side would have to be did I have them over here? Let me see. Okay, no. So let's take a look at Demario Douglas, right? So what lines do we have? We don't have any lines for Demario Douglas, right? So that's one thing. So we don't have any lines for Demario Douglas. But I could go over here. Versus San Francisco, tough matchup. 3 receptions, though. I think his reception line will come out at the very most 3.5, right? Week 3 versus the Jets, 7 receptions on 9 targets, right? Tough matchup here, 13-30. So it is what it is, right? Demario Douglas, he's somebody that we can look at. Of course, Hunter Henry is another guy that we can look at. And also Ramondre Stevenson, right? So Ramondre Stevenson in the passing game, not even going to talk about the running game. In the passing game, 5 targets here versus San Francisco for 4 receptions. 5 targets here versus Seattle, whatever the case may be, right? You can probably look at his rushing plus receiving, things of that nature, maybe a touchdown for him. These are guys that you could probably look at. I'm not going to touch on the Miami side, right? I'm just not. Buffalo Bills at Houston, Texas, over 47.5 in this spot. Buffalo Bills, Houston, Texas. Now, I'm not a big fan of this Buffalo Bills team. I'm telling you this shit right now. I'm not a fan because who are they, right? They just played, bro. They just played, let me see. So Buffalo played who? They played first. They kicked it off with Arizona, and right now, as of right now, Arizona. They trying not to Arizona. They try not to zone. They're trying to be bad as of right now. Miami, we see who they are. Jacksonville, they ain't won a game yet. Baltimore went in there and beat their ass, right? I still think Buffalo should have played better that game. I don't know what happened, but they went in there and got their ass beat, right? Now you're gonna see Houston, right? And Houston, I don't know, man. This game was a pick 'em. Now Buffalo Bills are the favorite. They should get Tank Dell back. They should get Mixon back this week. Man, I don't know, man. I don't see where I don't see where Buffalo win this game because man, shit. I mean, they receivers. I'm not a fan of them motherfuckers. None of them. Even Dalton Kincaid. Like you getting ready to come around. You getting ready to have. You getting ready to have. You about to go up against man. Gone, man. Get the hell out of here. Nico Collins going to be coming out there choosing violence, right? Then you got Mixon coming back fresh off injury. Man, Tank Dell will be back. And then you got the revenge narrative for Stephon Diggs where you're going to get a plus 160 for a touchdown versus this old team. Couple that with the fact that you got a competent quarterback. If I'm betting this game, it's probably going to be Houston or nothing at home, man. Straight up. I took the over receiving yards ASAP for Nico Collins at 81. Hopefully he gets there. Stephon Diggs is not out of the realm of possibilities here, right? Going up against this old team, 4.5 catches. Like, even if it's a parlay piece, 4.5, like, come on, man. Straight up. If I take the L, I take the L, right? I took the L last week on his receptions, but man, Diggs going up against this old team, they got to go ahead and show him some love, man. Give me the over the 4.5 receptions. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I wouldn't be surprised if they go deep on their ass, right? So his longest reception is sitting at he's hit this number 50% to this number on the season. You got a 28 versus Jacksonville, a 21 versus Chicago. 19 missed about a hook last week. Versus Minnesota. His receptions though, 4.5 as a parlay piece, and if you want to just get to the plus money, you can go to 5.5. Last week he missed his 5.5 about a hook. But you can get it 4.5, right? He's 3 or 4 to this number. And like I say, he's going up against this old team, right? So whatever the case may be with that. Reception yards, 56.5. Hit this number in back-to-back games. I have interest there as well. And then you got let me add this shit. Let me add this over here to my player pool, my picks over here. I want to add the 4.5. I want to add the 4.5. So I add that to my picks. I'm gonna use that as a parlay piece, and then the boy, right? It's been violent. He's been choosing violence, right? Nico Collins, he's been choosing violence, like he's been deadly, right? He's got probably over 100 or 100 more yards more than any receiver, right? 12 receptions last week versus Jacksonville, 8 versus Chicago, 4 versus Minnesota. Minnesota, I took Houston that game. Minnesota beat the shit out of Houston. I lost money there. His yardage, he's been killing it, man. 117, 135, 86, and 151. This boy here has been off the chain. Okay, so Nico Collins been terrorizing the league. I took his yardage early at 81. If he don't get there, he don't get there. I got a few weeks of some of his money in my pocket. As far as the Buffalo Bills side, I haven't gotten to anyone or anything yet. I'll do a little bit more extensive little research and check things out, but I haven't gotten to anything there. I don't see the rushing props here, but you might get to rushing props on DraftKings right now. And I want to take a look at Josh Allen's rushing yards here. So his rushing yards, let's hit the rushing yards over under. So you'll get his rushing yards, Josh Allen's rushing yards at 30 and a half. I expect him to go over that. I expect them to try to move the ball. He should be trying to do what he can do to win this game. I expect them boys to have to put up some points. So maybe Josh Allen will probably have to get out there and run. Hopefully he does if I make this play. Josh Allen, or if they don't get their ass blown out and have to sit like last week, rush yards here. So versus Baltimore, they got beat up. Jacksonville, he had 44. Didn't get there versus Miami. They beat the crap out of Miami. And Arizona, he got there versus Arizona, right? So his rush yards is sitting at 30 and a half. Yeah, I think it's a good play. Win, lose, or draw, I think it's a good play. Houston rushing yards, defense overall, ranked 13 versus the quarterback. They ranked 22. Right, so this is some of the things you can use, some of the tools you can use right here, right? So some shit like that, So this tool can be very, very helpful for some. It is what it is, right? Yeah. So I'll be looking at Allen to do what he needs to do to try to win this game. I'm just not big fans of those receivers. They receivers, I'm just going to keep it funky with you. I'm not a big fan of their receivers, man, over here in Buffalo. Now, the Colts and Jacksonville Jaguars, I want to know if Flacco was starting. If Flacco is starting, bump to the receivers, right? Don't know the status of the running back. So the stats of the running back. Let me see something. Who's texting me? So we got to see the status of. We got to see the status of the Colts running back and the quarterback, just to see who's going to be in there, right? So we'll see. I ain't gonna say fishy game here, but interesting game. Interesting game here. We got a 46.5 over under here, and 46 under and a half over under here. Christian Kirk. I do want to see what his numbers look like. His receptions will be sitting at what? So they don't have lines out for this game, and they're waiting on the quarterback news too. So just gotta wait on the quarterback news there. Like I say, if Flacco goes, then bump to the receivers, man. Remember guys like oh shit. You remember guys like Pittman and Downs and Pierce? Those guys might be in play, right? They might be in play. All right. So we do need to have injury news for Jonathan Taylor here. Taylor, who continues to deal with the ankle sprain, isn't likely to practice Thursday. So that's something interesting, right? So if we don't get Jonathan Taylor, then we'll get somebody like what's the kid's name? Trey Sermon, right? Trey Sermon was with 49ers and shit like that. Now, Brian Thomas Jr. He's been, we last week we got there early on him, right? So he did have a touchdown last week. I didn't take him for that, but the receptions was there. I did take his receptions. 6 of 9, so 6 receptions on 9 targets. He did have 86 yards. So shout out to him. Here's a guy that you can buy on, even in your fantasy. So Brian Thomas Jr. He should be here to stay. Christian Kirk has come around the last 2 games. 12 targets and 10 targets. You love to see that. So here's another guy. When the lines drop, we'll be able to decipher and see who we like or what we like. Maybe Prize Picks might have some lines on these guys. So you can probably take an early stab at them. Kirk. Let's see. Christian Kirk sitting at 56 receiving yards right here. Don't have his targets or his receptions out, right? So that's something we want to look at. We want to look at his We want to look at his receiving yards. We want to look at his targets and his receptions, right? That's what I'm interested in. Robinson Jr. Let me see, Brian. This lags so much for me. And that's the thing about Prize Picks. A lot of these numbers, they come out. What's up, Mackie? They come out around Tuesday, so we can just jump right on them. Of course, you got a parlay, but you can find 2 that you like. 54.5 receiving yards there. Interesting play. It's an interesting play. Okay, so you can get their receiving yards right now on Prize Picks if you want to. Okay, so next game here. You know what? Evan Ingram, right? What? Evan Ingram was limited participant in practice Wednesday, and who last saw game action in week 1 was unable to practice last week, so his involvement in Wednesday's section offers hope that he could play Sunday versus the Colts. The tight end has 2 more chances to increase his practice participation ahead of the contest, though he'll presumably need to put. Okay, so even if he plays, it's a possibility he might be limited. But don't forget about Evan Ingram, right? Week 1, he only played week 1. He had 4 targets of 1 reception on 4 targets. Okay. So Cleveland Browns and Washington Commanders. Okay. Interesting game here. We got an over under 43.5. Okay. So Cleveland, boy, man. So what I will say, a shout out to Daniels, man. He's been balling, right? Can't take nothing from him. Some of the matchups he's had has been, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, 20-37. The Giants, okay? Cincinnati and Arizona. Giants, Cincinnati, and Arizona. 3 cake matchups, if you ask me, so far. Cincinnati game was good, just the defense wasn't there. Cincinnati, Giants defense, Giants, right? Arizona has been not Arizonaing, right? They falling off the cliff right now, right? What's standing out to me is Jaden Daniels, the rushing yards. Going up against a Cleveland team that, I think that they got some defense, okay? They got some defense. So Jaden McDaniels, I'll be looking at his rushing, okay? Jaden Daniels, what's his name? Daniels, right? I'll be looking at his rushing yards. Okay. Let's see. Rushing props. Okay. So rushing props over under. Rushing yards over under. His line is set at what? 40, what? 46 and a half. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know if I'll be going there. It's a lot. Can he do it? Yes. He's hit this number. He's hit this number. One, two of us. He's 50% to this number on the season. 88 yards, 47 yards, 39 and 44. He is a candidate to score a rushing touchdown. He's got 4 rushing touchdowns. He's averaging around 1 rushing touchdown a game. 2 versus Tampa Bay, none versus the Giants, 1 versus Cincinnati, 1 versus Arizona. I couldn't talk you off a rushing touchdown for him. I'm going to temper my expectations on this game for right now. I just got a different type of vibe for this game right now. I don't think I'm going to be feeling this game right now, but we're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see. So I'm going to skip over this. I ain't skipping, but Mari Cooper, he should be in play. Definitely. They couldn't connect on that big one last week. But Amari Cooper, receiving yards, receptions, those he should be in play, right? Looking at prize picks here, let's see what we got here. Cooper. Let's see what props they got for Cooper. It lags so much when I'm look at that page unresponsive. Wait, whatever. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. Let me go over here to receiving props, receptions. I do want to see what the receptions look like here for Cooper and or Jerry Jeudy been playing a little bit of ball as well. Commanders, and I should not be using that. I should be using this, right? I should be using this, right? So let's go Cooper. Mari Cooper. See if we got any lines on him. Okay, so right now we only got reception yards, right? Reception yards sitting at 49 and a half. He's only hit that number once this season. Terrible. Matchup here overall. Washington receiving yards, defense, stats per game. Receiving yards allowed 22 versus wide receiver 27. So it's just a matter of can Watson make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Put the ball on him. Now, Mari Cooper has had some drops. Okay, so don't get it twisted. He has had some drops. So I don't know what to say right here. And I mean, keep an eye out on what's my guy name? The running back situation here. Austin Eckler, because then you're gonna get Brad Robinson Jr., who's gonna, garner the line share, right? So last week, no. Last week, damn, Austin Eckler didn't play. He had 21 rushing attempts, 100 yards, 3 receptions. He balled out, right? He had a rushing touchdown, no receiving touchdown, right? And somebody that you can look at for fantasy as well, right? And he's questionable as well. So right now it says Robinson was a non-participant at practice due to a knee injury. Okay, so that's interesting. And then you have Austin Eckler, who Eckler practiced limited capacity. Eckler had I think he had a concussion or something, didn't he? Yeah. So if for some reason we don't get, we could look at Eckler. You know what I'm saying? So, those are some things we need to really, really keep an eye out on. Right. Next game here. Um, so the Arizona Cardinals and San Francisco, like, I don't really want to deal with any props here. So, at least on the Arizona side, I expect for San Francisco to beat up on these people, man, straight up, man. So, uh, that's what I expect. So, Trey McBride, keep an eye out on Trey McBride, the tight end. Okay, if he's back, then we can look at some of his receptions or something like that. If he's back. Las Vegas Raiders and Denver Broncos. Okay, so Broncos defense has been tough as nails, right? So I'm not messing with these guys right now. But going forward, don't forget about guys like. Now we know that we won't have no Deontay, no Adams, right? I mean, no Adams, right? So Tucker, for instance, right? Trey Tucker, 9 targets week 3, 6 targets week 5, 5 receptions on 6 targets, 7 receptions on 9 targets. Keep an eye out for Trey Tucker. Okay, keep an eye out for Trey Tucker. I don't know if I'll go to him this week, whatever the case may be. Jacoby Myers, former quarterback. He knows how to get. He knows how to play the game. He knows how to get to the spots, stuff like that. 5 receptions. Let me see. 5 receptions on 10 targets last week versus Cleveland. 7 receptions on 9 targets versus Carolina. Not a guy that's going to wow you, but you're looking at receptions. You know what I'm saying? Sure hands and stuff like that. But the matchups, you don't just go out there taking them just against anybody, right? The matchup got to be right. Shout out to Sid, Unknown Cardinals props. Probably is a thing, right? Mason in that game, you can on the Arizona on the San Francisco side, props are go there. This might be on San Francisco side. This might be Ayuk day. You never know, right? I'm not a fan of Ayuk. A lot of people are. I'm not a fan of Ayuk. I'm not. He ain't. I ain't been no fan of him. But wouldn't be surprised if he shows up. And Mason, he's a touchdown or 2 candidate this week. But yeah, Brock Bowers, man, I started him last week in my fantasy. I just don't know what happened. But this is a tough defensive matchup. What I will say here, I would say, this probably is a time that you could. I mean, it's been. I mean, they haven't just been. I'll tell you this. It's a matter of time before these boys explode, right? Quarter Sutton, he's been targeted heavy. 9 targets here, 11 targets there, 12 targets there. I wouldn't be surprised if he explodes in this spot. I'm just saying. He's the highest targeted receiver over there. He's definitely getting targeted in the end zone. I showed you guys that numbers last week. So, he's definitely getting targeted in the end zone. Let's see. What is this I'm looking at here? Let's see. Ball carriers, pass catches. Let me see something here. Select all, take them off. Team, select all, take them off there. Wide receivers. Red zone targets. Well, they don't get to the red zone that often. Touchdowns. They don't get to the red zone that often, so I ain't even gonna throw that number out there like that, right? So this next game here, New York Giants and Seattle Seahawks. The thing about this game here is, if you liked Seattle, you should have been got on them, right? That's just plain and simple. Should have been got on it. This is a vertical offense. I like this vertical offense. I like what's been going on here. I mean, you got Kenneth Walker back, and you got Charbonnet behind him, right? You got Metcalf, who's been on a tear. Speaking of Metcalf, I do have him set to the side here. Metcalf has been a dog. Um, Looking at his receptions, look at his receiving yards. Last 3 games versus Denver. Denver's been a tough ass defense, ain't they? God. So 100 yards in 3 straight games. New England, Miami, Detroit. So as of what we know right now, New England, I mean, he did what he's supposed to do. They're not, I mean, and it was a 20-23 game there. They beat the crap out of Miami. And then, he was heavily targeted here. Now, I mean, and then if you want to go for a ladder, I mean, his yards sitting at 63.5. If you want to go for a ladder at 100 yards, be my guest. I think he's only got 1 or 2 touchdowns on the season here. 2 touchdowns on the season there. He got tackled on the 1 last game. I know that hurt a lot of people or some shit like that. But yeah, he's definitely in play. Jackson Smith and Jigma. I mean, it is what it is, man. Straight up. So those are some guys that we could look at, right? So, but I don't know if the wide receiver is playing. Malik Neighbors. Then you got on the other side, I forget the wide receiver name there. So we don't have lines out, right? But if you really want to jump on this Seattle Seahawks train, you need to get on it now. Take the 7. I think it opened up at 6.5, 5.5 or something like that. But I'm probably going to be taking a stab at the kids at his receiver yard, some shape, form, or fashion. That'll be DK Metcalf, right? So that's why I'm at with this one. Seahawks. Green Bay Packers, Los Angeles Rams. It's going to be the Rams or nothing for me. I like the Rams here, and I also like Josh Jacobs to get in there. I think this will be his first touchdown on the season. You can see it's a -130 right now. So I'm liking Josh Jacobs here. I picked up Wicks in my fantasy. I picked what's his name, whatever his name is, Wicks here. Picked him up. Don't be surprised if he don't have a good game here. 13 targets last week, 5 receptions. I want to see what his numbers look like, right? Let me take a look here. Wicks. If we have Wicks here, let's see. Wicks. Okay, we got numbers here. For what books? All right, reception yards at 44.5. Bet 365. Oh, so he's on Prize Picks. Okay, receptions on Bet 365. Oh, they got him on FanDuel and everything. See, he's a big favorite to go over his 3.5 receptions line. Because you can see 120 on FanDuel, 145 on Bet 365, 140 something. So if you want to get to this number, you want to get to this number right away. I did not know FanDuel had these numbers out. I did not know that. Yeah, they do have these numbers out. Interesting. And Tavian Wicks, 47.5 reception yards. And okay. And they got the alternates out and the alternate receptions out too. What? Okay. You can get Tavian Wicks at 3 receptions at a parlay piece. At a -280 at a parlay piece. But I like the over. Give me the over. Over on Dontavian Wicks. Over on Dontavian Wicks. All right, so let's see. Dontavian Wicks here. Give me the over, man. Give me the over. Going up against this Rams defense, his long reception sitting at 20 and a half. I think you can take his yards and then you can take his receptions. And I think it's a possibility he can hit them both, right? So I'm fine with either one. I'm probably just gonna look at the receptions. I don't know. Or I might just alter his reception down and just put the same game parlay together. That might be something that I do, but I couldn't talk you off the 3.5 receptions. You can see the targets were there last week. He had 13 receptions. 13 targets, 5 receptions, right? En route to trying to come back versus Minnesota. But more often than not, you see what the Bears did to this Rams rushing defense. Swift came alive, so you got to look at Josh Jacobs' touchdown play here, or rushing yards or whatever. Jacobs, right? Josh Jacobs. I think you got to look at that, right? So TDs, he don't got no TDs this year. So I'm taking him for a TD, okay? I got to add the TD there. I got to take him for a touchdown. I'm going to take him for a touchdown. Let's see. Rush yards, sitting at 63 and a half. Game script, supports it. Looking at what the line is here, we got why is this line 48 and a half? This is what I want to know. And a 3-point spread. Enlighten me on this. I just need to know. I really need to know. Why is this a 3-point spread here? Now, granted, I'm telling you, I had the Chicago Bears to beat the crap out of this Rams team last week, and the Bears had a mediocre first half, right? First half. Now, as a Bears fan, I've always been scared of Stafford. He just know how to play football, straight up. But I don't know, man. The books are smarter than me, though. But, man, at a 48 and a half, though, man. And look, don't be scared. If you think you're right, don't be scared to ladder up some shit, right? Like you can get Green Bay at -7. You get Green Bay at -7 for +150, right? If you're just saying, hey, I don't give a fuck what the book's talking about. I know Green Bay about to pack their ass up, right? You could get, you could get them at 10 at +230. You could do all this shit. You know what I'm saying? You could do all this. Just like in basketball, you do the margins and stuff like that. Shit, you can do everything. You can do it all, fam. Straight up. So don't get it, hey, this ain't, man, just because this shit's that line say whatever, man, you trust your research and, shit, it is what it is, right? I don't mind if the Packers beat them. If the Rams beat them, though, for my division's sake, but that's for another story. I got to look at Josh Jacobs here. I'm going to have to. Rushing attempts, let's see. His rushing attempts are sitting at 15 and a half, right? He's hit this number 2 He's 50% to this number on the season. 14 versus Tennessee. So, I mean, I guess. Now, we do have, what's the kid's name? Is it Wilson? Emmanuel Wilson, right? So, this guy is getting carries, right? Especially the last two games. He's getting carries behind him, right? He's getting carries behind him. He does have a receiving touchdown, but, you know, it is what it is. But he did have 8 attempts last week. He had 12 attempts versus Tennessee, 5 and 4, right? So, you know, we gotta be mindful of that. You know, the vulture. You know, the only touchdown he vultured that, okay, to the running back. So, you know, here's a guy. He's going to be behind Josh Jacobs here, right? But Josh Jacobs, I mean, game script didn't favor him last week because, you know, they were losing. And this is just what I was saying. Mackie said Wilson went to my age. Okay, for sure. Shout out then. Straight up. Shout out. That's what's up. Now, Josh Jacobs, this is what I mean for game script dependent. Just like I was saying with that Baltimore game. We got to figure out the game script in that Baltimore game because I mean, shit. I'll tell you what, Bengals are due for a win, and they have some of the personnel that can beat Baltimore. You got your quarterback, you got both wide receivers over here, running backs. You got two running backs. I mean, at least make it a shootout, and that's what happened right here. So, week 1, 16 rush attempts, right? 3 targets. Week 2, 32 rushing attempts, 0 targets, right? Game flow. You know what I'm saying? 10 versus Tennessee, 14 rush attempts, 1 target. But they all of a sudden they trying to come back. Game flow. They was down. Well, anytime a team is projected to be down, you got passing. Guess what happens? Only 9 rush attempts, 51 yards, but you got 6 targets and you got 4 receptions. You see what I'm saying? So Josh Jacobs is a guy that can catch the ball in the backfield to be effective and things of that nature. But I'm comparing this to like a game like that Baltimore game. If Baltimore happens to be down, and you just get that Cincinnati Bengals come down there and strike 3 times in a row on their ass, then you get somebody like Gary Henry phased out the game. Then you're looking at Justice Hill in the passing game. Okay, that's just something. That's what I mean by game flow. And it was hard for me to predict that game flow for that Baltimore game because it's a 48 total. That's what made it click. Like, I don't understand why this game total is so high and the spread is so close. But I'm not going to wreck my brain. I feel like Josh Jacobs get his first touchdown this week. For somebody who doesn't have a fucking touchdown, it's a minus 130. And then you got Kyron Williams is sitting at a minus 240. I know these defenses ain't all that, but I mean this Green Bay rush defense ain't all that, but man. Yeah, I went through that. You can go through the first game. On Prize Picks for members only, I did drop a play, and it was this right here. It was Mike. Now this is just I'm gonna drop a parlay in the YouTube community section later on, but this was just Kyle Pitts and Mike Evans TD combo. Drake London over 5.5 receptions. Bijan Robinson, I like him to score tonight. Darnell Mooney over 20.5 longest reception. I ain't gonna say it's for fun, but it's a fun play. And the other plays was Chris Godwin, 6 receptions, and Baker Mayfield over 1.5 um, pass, rush, reception touchdowns. Pass, rush, reception touchdowns, right? So evidently, Baker Mayfield and Chris Godwin got nerfed. Let's go see what their numbers are looking like now. So Godwin probably at 6.5. Or probably so much money came in on Godwin, they took his reception down. That's what it was. Now, Cade Otton, I have interest there. Mike Evans, I can see him getting there. Oh, you sent your slips? Okay, for sure. No problem. Oh, yeah, that was there. Okay, I'll check you out. I'll check you out. For sure. Um, um, so yeah, let me get back to where we were. Kyron Williams, big workload guy. I can see him being effective in this game. You can look at his rushing and receiving yards, or whatever the case may be. With that, Kyron Williams, he should be have a heavy workload in this game. Let's see here, Kyron Williams here. He scored a touchdown in a bunch of games in a row. That's why his touchdown prop is up there like that. So he scored a touchdown in 8 of his last 10 games, including 1 in every game this week. Versus San Francisco, he had 3, right? Receptions for him, sitting at 2.5. He's hit this number 3 of his last 4 games. Wouldn't be surprised if he hits it there. So his receptions is in play. His reception yards sitting at 17.5. Don't know if I'll go there. Rushing attempts, 19.5 rushing attempts. He's hit this number once during this season. In the rushing yards, he's hit his rushing yards prop 2 times this season at 84.5. Okay. The receivers over here. You got one kid that's interesting. Was that Whittington guy or whatever? Whittington is interesting, right? So we know that Stafford's got lock-on ability, right? You just got to figure out which guy that he wants to key in on it, right? So Whittington, last game versus my Chicago Bears, he had 8 targets and 6 receptions, and he was catching Whittington ass, dotting his ass across the corner, across the middle of the field, and all types of shit. Tutu Atwell, 6. This is when you know you got a good quarterback. He can just turn nothing into something, man. 6 targets for him, 4 receptions there, spreading the ball around there. Robinson is something we need to take a look at. Practice in a limited fashion Wednesday due to a hip injury. So, it's a possible that, he's going to be, playing or whatever the case may be. So keep an eye out on that, right? I want to say this Whittington guy. What's the numbers? What's the numbers we got? Because we look like we got numbers here. Whittington is at 45.5. I just don't understand these lines. I don't understand this game line. That's what I don't understand. Receptions. Three and a half. Jordan Whittington's 3.5 at a -220. Books think he's that guy, right? Books think he's that guy for him. 2.5 receptions for I can't do that. Kyron Williams -146. So Whittington, just keep an eye out on Whittington because you know what Stafford would do. He will lock on to somebody and he won't let them motherfuckers go. Okay, that's where I'm at with that. I guess what I want to say the last game would be no, we got Sunday night. I know Dallas dealing with some injuries, right? I know Pittsburgh got some good defense, okay? We know this. But my thing is, I don't know, man. Maybe you look at Justin Fields in certain shape, form, or fashion. But this Pittsburgh, I'm frustrated with this game because I think if Dallas Cowboys could put up some points on these guys, they could probably win this game. For Pittsburgh, lack of scoring. But Dallas is banged up right now. Need to see the status of some injuries of some of these defensive players. I don't know what it would take. Can Dallas steal 3 touchdowns and try to win this game just off of that alone? I don't know. But I'll tell you, some guys that I got on my radar here. Lamb is Lamb, right? But we're gonna have to take a look at we're gonna have to take a look at Ferguson, right? Back-to-back week, 6 receptions or more. Targets are there. Safety blanket, whatever you want to call it, right? Got to take a look at Jake Ferguson. Don't know if we got any lines out. Let's check prospects and see if we got some lines out. We don't have none on FanDuel. Jake Ferguson. $48.5 receiving yards there on over there. You might get an over/under reception line here. Receptions over under. Let's see. Jake Ferguson, 4.5 receptions here. Gonna take a look at some of the numbers versus tight ends. This Steelers defense is stingy. Okay. So Jake Ferguson, 4.5 receptions, favored to the over at -155. If something that could probably be in play. Big target there, right? Pickens. One thing we know about Fields can lock on. He can definitely lock on to a number 1 receiver. That's no problem for him, right? We talked about this before. Pickens, his reception line here. Let's take a look. On DraftKings, we don't have a line out on DraftKings. Let's see. Prize picks. Longest reception, 22. 54 receiving yards. Okay, no receptions yet. If I had to predict the receptions here, I'm looking at, I'm looking at 4.5. His reception should come out at 4.5. I would say 4.5. I couldn't talk you off of it, right? I couldn't talk you off of it. And then looking at Fields as a whole, right? As a whole. Last week he displayed what he could do. You know what I'm saying? He did the do. What did he have? 300 yards, 22 for 34 versus Indy. 312 passing yards, 104 rating, 55 rushing yards, right? 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 passing touchdowns. He played very good. Okay. So he's a guy that you can look at. All right. He lost 1 fumble. He had 2 fumbles and lost 1. I didn't know that. Either way it go. Here's a guy that we can look at. We can look at Fields overall. rushing and passing, shit like that, right? Or a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Rushing yards. We can look at that. We can look at that for Justin Fields. Okay. Until further notice, those are the three guys. Those are the guys I'm looking at right now: Justin Fields, Pickens, and Ferguson, the tight end. Couldn't talk you off looking at Freiermuth either. And the last game on the note, let me see. Y'all can tell I'll be trying to get out of here. I'll be like, the last game. Now I gotta get ready to go to work. No, this probably is the last game. Yeah, New Orleans Saints and the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't. I don't know, man. I might come with something a little bit later on for that, man. Why do I have a green spot right there? I might come with something for this game. I mean, that'll give me something to do, right? I might come back tomorrow though with a condensed like what I'm really playing. Boom, I might come back tomorrow with what I'm really playing. But we're getting ready to be overloaded. I told you guys, looking right here, NBA preseason is here. I've been doing that for about, as long as they've been offering it, right? And I'm going to be going into some, on the books. I definitely like to bet blowouts. Definitely like to bet blowouts, and they're here. So live betting would be a thing for me. Maybe I'll push those out on my Twitter. But you got your 11 pluses and dogs and all this, man. Preseason is lit. If depending on what you're planning for, you got your blowouts, your plus 31s, and your plus 31s. You got your margin of victories. I like the margin of victories 10s by 10s. I like those because I can take a 21, a 30, and a 31 plus and just hope one of them hit. And like I said, I do play this for fantasy DFS, right? I don't know how I'll be bringing the content. The first game tomorrow will be about what? Early in the morning, right? Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Let me see what time these games come on. 11 and 1 at night. So 1 in the morning, 1 at night. And, it is what it is, right? So make sure you be on Twitter, seeing who's going to be what. That's the way to go, right? But at the end of the day, I will put out a parlay piece in about a few hours, maybe a few hours. I'll put out a parlay piece, and we'll see what's going to happen, right? I'll put out a parlay for the tonight's game on the books, right? On the books. But for me, it's live betting. Want to take one quick look at some of these first quarter props? Let's take a look at some of these first quarter props, and we can figure something out. I didn't look at the first quarter props for tonight, so let's take a look, right? I like first quarter receiving props, right? 8 yards for Mike Evans. 11 yards for Godwin. 3 yards for Otten. I like this. I like this for Cade Otten. I have interest in this for Cade Otten. 2.5 reception yards. I have interest there. Bijan. I'm going to have interest for Bijan, right? With a reception line, I ain't gonna have to have interest in it. I'll just say it's interesting because the reception line is sitting at 3.5. So if you want to do a $5 quick hitter or something like that, I can feel you. I feel you. So White, you're gonna get plus money. Drake London, under 10 yards for Drake London first quarter. I think that's okay. Kyle Pitts, trash, man. Watch he go for 1,000 yards. I might take him though. I might do a $5 one or something, put him in there. Darnell Mooney, 5 yards. I think that's a nice. I like this play. I like this thought. The thought of this play. Ray McLeod, 4 yards. I like the thought of that play as well, man. So man, maybe man, it'd be hard to decipher between Mooney and Ray McLeod, uh, or both. I probably would look at Ray. 3.5. I probably would look at mm, 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 mm. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta think about it, man. But I'm gonna make a parlay. Even if it's 2 or 3 legs. I'm gonna make a parlay. All right. Appreciate you guys. Peace out, fam. Peace out.